Hi, boys and girls. Today is Wednesday, and we're going to have a little math lesson on addition problems. Some of the work that I sent home to you in your packets for this week, that's the red packets, will have some vertical addition problems, the kind that go straight up and down. So I want you to be aware of patterns in numbers, how to deconstruct numbers, and maybe to learn some tricks about how we can add numbers together in an easier way. So the first thing I'd like you to do is to take a look at these magnetic dots. There's a whole group of dots here. If you just looked at that, could you tell how many dots there were right away without counting? Remember how we subitize? That's a hard group of dots to subitize, isn't it? But if we put them into a 10 frame, it becomes much easier to see how many dots we have. So you know right away by looking at that 10 frame with all of the squares filled in that we have 10 dots. It was hard to see before, wasn't it? So we need to find ways to help us in math. We need to find ways to help us group numbers together, add numbers together, take numbers apart. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you some math problems. And they may be math problems that you will see in your worksheets that were sent home. So let's take a look at this first one. And I'm going to use the 10 frame to help you. We start with the number 9. So I took one of the dots out of the 10 frame, which means we have 9 left, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I have 9 and I add one more, how many is that? That's right. That would be 10. 9 plus 1 is 10. Now suppose we started with 8. We're going to do this problem now. I have 8 in my 10 frame. I'm going to add 2 more. Now how many do I have? Same answer. I have 10. Now we're going to start with 6. Okay, we know there's 5 in the top row, and one more would make 6. But if I add 4, I get 10. So 6 plus 4 equals 10. We've done this one before. That was part of our number of the day yesterday. Okay, we know that in every 10 frame, we have 5 in the top row and 5 in the bottom row, right? So if I have 5 in the top row, and I'm going to put 5 in the bottom row, before I even finish, how many is that going to be? That's right, it's going to be 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. And we are so lucky that we have 10 fingers. We can always use our fingers to make sure that we've counted correctly. 5 and 5 is 10. Okay, now I'm going to this one. I'm going to start with 7. 5, 6, 7. When I add 3 more, how many do I have? That's right. Once again, we have 10. Our last problem. I'm starting with 10 and I'm adding 0. What does 0 mean? It means nothing. So if I add nothing to 10, what do I have? I still have 10, don't I? Look at all the different ways that we made 10. So we can also do that by decomposing that number into 9 and 1, 8 and 2, 7 and 3, 6 and 4, 5 and 5. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you hear some patterns there? When we add them together, all of those combinations will give us 10. Okay, one more thing. Sometimes you're going to have problems with more than 10. So I need another 10 frame. Thank you to Mrs. Boyles for lending me her 10 frames. So I'm going to put some dots over here. I bet you can guess how many I'm going to put. That's right, there are 10. If I put them all in this 10 frame, it would be filled up and then it would be 10. But it's still 10 over here. They're just randomly arranged over here. Okay, so let's start with a math problem that even at my age, after all these years of doing math, I still have to stop and think about. And I'm going to write it over here. I'm going to start with 8. Okay, we've got 8 in this 10 frame. And I want to add 9. Oh boy, how many is that? 8 plus 9. I don't have that many fingers, right? I only have 10 fingers. So if I have 8, how can I add 9 more? I've only got 2 fingers left. Well, let's put the 9 down here. Okay, this is 9, isn't it? There's only 1 missing. This is 8. There's 2 missing. How many is that all together? Well, an easy way to do that is to take 2 from this 10 frame and fill in this one here. Okay, so now how many do we have here? We have 10. I'll write it on this side. So now we have 10. How many do we have left down here? 5, 6, 7, right? Is that easy to add together, 10 plus 7? I remember doing this with beads, and all we had to do was move that 7 up to cover the 0, because 7 plus 0 is still 7, and that 1 stays there. So that's kind of easy. 10 plus 7 is 17. 10 plus 6 is 16. 10 plus 4 is 14. 10 plus 8 is 18, right? You just move whatever's in the ones place over the 0, and it becomes your new teen number. So we started with 8, and we added 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many do we have all together? 17. Okay, so sometimes if you use that number 10, we call that a friendly number. Remember, 2, 5, and 10. are friendly numbers. If you can use that 10 to help you solve a math problem, it might go much quicker for you. So you're going to have some math problems on your worksheets that look like this. If it's only an answer that is up to 10, you can still use your fingers or you can use your brain. But if it's more than 10, you might want to think about your 10 frames and how you can use that 10 to help you solve a problem. Okay, I want to see how you do. Let me know on Thursday, okay?